And there you can see on the screen now the men's Ambulant 100 metres from lane 2. Lachlan Foote, Jacob Phillips, Matthew Guild, Braden Davidson, Scott Reardon, Evan O'Hanlon, Mitchell Christensen and Nathan Woods. Again, just like the wheelchair race.
You're looking at this and you've got Olympic champions. It's not often we have a race here in Australia with multiple Olympic champions. Obviously, we've got Evan O'Hanlon in there, Olympic champion from London, silver medalist from Rio. We've got Scotty Reardon also in there, gold medalist from Rio. Who could forget that one?
Exactly, and Braden Davidson, gold medalist in the long jump.
There you go. It's good to see him coming out onto the track. Yeah,
they do need the speed. I wish some of the other long jumpers tested themselves out over the 100 a little bit more. They do talk the talk. I know Fabrice did put an Instagram other day saying the fastest 100-metre runner in Australia does long jump.
There you go. Mitch Watt was one that everyone thought could run a good 100. Unfortunately, he wasn't the best starter.
10:31 he's actually run.
Yeah, I saw that one. It didn't even get the start.
No.
So he was definitely one of our quickest long jumpers going around. I reckon he probably would have been good for a 10.2 at least.
I do know Jai Tarema once told me before Sydney Olympics he was doing blocks with Shervo and PJ and was actually taking them over the first 20.
Wow.
And if you watch any footage of Jai Tarema, he was hitting the board at some speed.
Yep. But this is going to be a good race. Definitely going to be a good race. So obviously Evan, he had a bit of time off after Rio, so he wasn't quite sure what he was going to do, whether he was going to continue athletics, but it seems like that passion's come back to him now. He's actually moved up here to Sydney. Okay. He's no longer down in Canberra. He's still working with his coach Arena, but obviously he's doing it from up here. He's living full-time in Sydney. And from all reports that when I spoke to him, he's enjoying it up here. So
excellent.
I think he's happy to be home.
Yeah, and you might even notice they are running on the back straight.
Yep.
For these events. So the
people power. They've decided to turn it after, obviously, last night's comments. It's good to see that the officials have gone out there, set up the back straight camera and allowing these athletes to make use of these tailwinds.
Yeah, we'll be reassessed after the semi-finals for the men and women as well, just to make sure they get the promised of conditions. But we saw that wheelchair race on the front straight, minus 1.1, so it means it'll be a plus 1.1 out the back, and we might see some very fast times.
Most definitely. Scotty's a bit of a character. Not many people know this. He was actually world champion water skier.
Water skier?
Water ski. Yeah, he used to water ski before he was doing track and field. He was a world champion in it.
Excellent. You do see a lot of these athletes, like we said, James Turner was a soccer player. He was in the Australian soccer team.
Yep.
And I don't think they qualified for Rio, and that's why he switched to athletics and took himself a gold and a world record. So,
how's that? Switch sport, give it a crack, go and win a gold medal.
Steve Solomon was actually a junior soccer player as well. I think he might have been a captain of his team, of the Australian team.
Yeah, he had a lot of scouts after him in his junior years. I'm glad to see he stuck with the track though. Would have been disappointing to see him go off to soccer and lose such a talent.
Yeah, exactly. It's good to have those athletes at our disposal for what an awesome night it will be tonight, the Saturday of the 2017 Australian Athletics Championships.
It's also good to see the New Zealand athletes coming out here. We go over there, so we actually sent a couple of ACT athletes over to New Zealand for the New Zealand champs, and they raced. And Lachie Foote, who's in this final here, was one of the athletes that went over there to compete. And a couple of those New Zealanders have come back here, repaid the favour. One, Will O'Neill, who's in Nitro. He was in the Nitro team for New Zealand. Didn't make the finals, 9th fastest. Ran a PB though, so he's still pretty happy.
That's all you can ask.
Sounds like we've got a bit of a friend up here in the box.
Yeah, a little bird has landed on the WA Athletics flag right above us. Hopefully.
Maybe we'll have to go get some bread or something. I don't think anyone's going to have any bird feed, but anyway, back to the track.
Off and running, Evan O'Hanlon, the fastest in the heats with 11.27, and we should see him get a very good start. That's Matthew Guild in the maroon, but Evan O'Hanlon flying down those later stages, and he'll take the win from Guild and Nathan Woods, South Australia, on the outside. 11.28, the unofficial winning time. The wind 0.0. So
Jeez.
we can't say if it was a good idea to take it down to the back straight, but no wind is no wind, and that's excellent for these guys. But obviously we'll have to wait and see from our percentages who takes out the gold, but Evan O'Hanlon taking line honours.
Yeah, he actually got a better start than he did in his heat. He wasn't too quick away in his heat, but he's got away well there, and he started to move away, especially from that 50-metre point onwards. He's really started to move away from the other athletes, but fantastic run there by Guild. He pushed Evan all the way in the heats. They drew the same heat, definitely pushed him all the way. So it's good to see some of these young athletes coming through and pushing the, obviously, the veteran athletes. You'd probably call Evan O'Hanlon a veteran
definitely.
of the track now.
And he's got a good range too. He's very handy over the 2 and the 4.
Yep.
You can see the crowd now starting to fill up. We've had a lot of junior events throughout the day with a lot of senior athletes now threading into the track with some junior relays to come only a few short moments away after the rest of the Ambulant 100 metres and just before the 100-metre semis. Now it looks like Tamsin's got a couple of our athletes out there on the back straight. Tamsin.
Oh, I just grabbed the superstar, the winner, Evan O'Hanlon. Tell us, what were the conditions like out there? They've moved it down the back straight. Happy?
Yeah, well, I'm not here to run any qualifying time, so I'm not going to complain if we're on the front straight or the back straight, but I understand there is athletes here that are trying to do that, and for them to turn around, it's really good for the sport.
Talk to us about your training. How's it been going?
Yeah, good. It's been really different for me since Rio. I've moved to Sydney, and I'm working for my parents' architectural firm, so working from 12 o'clock every day means I only train once a day, compared to like full on before, so really happy with how I ran, considering that I'm not training as much, and I'm just trying to limit the damage, I suppose.
It's a good point that you make. Like, it's pretty tough to be a track and field athlete. Obviously, there's not a lot of money in the sport, and so you do have to work, and then you have to work out the balance. Still aiming to make the world champs team, though.
Yeah, so I did retire after Rio for a couple of months.
Yeah, we didn't like that. We didn't like that at all.
My parents convinced me to come back, and so I was going to go work full-time, and I'm working part-time for them. I'm going to World Champs, hopefully, if they pick me in the team. And my real aim is to go to Commonwealth Games and see how I can go there.
Okay, so we thank your parents for keeping you in the sport. Well done, Evan. You look fantastic out there.
Yeah, we've got to thank all the top athletes, parents and family, I think, because they're the only reason they keep doing it. I mean, as a Paralympian, it's really hard to get any sponsors and stuff like that. So, yeah, my family's done a great job. Thanks.
Had the same conversation with Rich Coleman off air. It is tough. You're doing really well. You've had a great career, and I can't wait to see what you still have to offer for us.
Cheers, I'll see what I can do.